A popular comment amongst friends and family to us is, how good is it being a real estate agent when you get to look at properties, you get to buy all the good stuff? Well, it is true. Sometimes we do miss really good properties, and today we're going to talk about the misses and the ones we should have bought. Stay tuned.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, buddy. You?
Yeah, good. I started off listening to a bit of Elton John this morning, so it's been a good start to the day.
Yeah, we often have these conversations in the mornings, if anyone doesn't know, with Billy, and he asks me stuff, and we realise there's a disparity in age all the time.
This morning's question was, who's your favourite artist? And your favourite, I don't even know who they are.
My favourite artist is Sting, Sting, and Billy Bob, Billy Boy, the old man in the young man's body, didn't even know who that artist was. And then I get all insulted and my back up. I'm like, how can you not know them? Billy
It's all right. It's just a bit of homework to do. It's an easy fix.
Sting's the best. Sting's the man.
But this morning's topic, it's almost like the girl you missed out on in primary school, Mark. It's the one that you drive past and you go, missed out on that one.
You can't buy them all. And people do buy them. The real estate agents don't buy them. People do buy them. And we want to talk about if there's a pattern in these properties of what we like, you like, I like, that miss out. And we're going to nail some of those properties, talk about some of those properties, and that may help people in terms of what our best picks look like.
Yeah, well, that's it. If it'd be a perfect world if you could set a property aside when you find one you really like and, say, I'm going to buy that when I can. But it doesn't quite work like that. It's a good time to do it. We're into the next half of the year now. Quarter 2 is over. Quarter 3 has begun. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a share screen.
And also they're a bit of lifestyle properties and a bit of investment properties. Sort of talking about it all today. So Billy, have you got a bit of an appetite for property? You're always commenting on stuff. Have you got some that you missed out on that you wish you could have bought?
I love property. Yeah, absolutely is the answer. We'll start with this one. So this is one that Lisa Novak, Michael Silich, sold very recently, actually.
Yes.
Now,
we can't buy them all. Can you zoom up a bit more?
When you talk about a feel-good property, this has got to be it.
Where was this?
So the problem with zooming in is I can't scroll through the photos properly.
Oh.
But this is DY Beachfront.
Ooh.
This is a 2-bedroom.
Oh yeah. What's your address?
3/98 Howard Avenue.
It's pretty hot.
Very hot. Let me just see if I can get back off this. No, not letting me. But floor plan, although it's half cut off, big lock-up garage, had a small balcony, but completely renovated throughout, and it just had so much natural light. It was just a really good feel-good property.
So what was the price again that sold for?
This one, hang on. I have to reload.
Put going RP data, mate. I reckon you'll do better with the photos.
Yeah, potentially.
And who bought it?
The purchaser. So this one was actually a colleague's buyer, but he's moved in since, and I can only imagine he's loving it. Then the owner moved out to Queensland. But yeah, if I was buying at the time, that's what I would have been purchasing.
That's a cracker. And next property?
Next property, you was one you loved.
I'd go in RP Data, mate, when you put these searches.
You reckon RP Data? Okay. 1075 Pacific Parade. Talk us through this one. This is one of your faves.
Oh, this one just sold, and I wish I'd bought it. And it was a really good. Lately I've come up with this word called a bookend in a building. I love a bookend in a building. If you're going to buy, look for a bookend in a building. So that's the unit that's right at the end. It has no common walls, generally on three sides. So windows on three sides. So and the lobby on the other side as well. So that particular place there, I thought was really well priced. I had a good client of mine that I recommended to buy that missed out on it as well. I thought he was going to jump in. But look at this. It was small, but balcony, nice outlook, pretty original. It's a 640 grand, which I thought was pretty good for a one-bedder. Probably sounds, across New South Wales, sounds expensive to some people, but something like this, in my opinion, is going to be double in 10 years. Original kitchen, but a separated kitchen, which I liked. So it wasn't open to the living room. Big bedroom, easy to get a queen bed in, not a bad little outlook with a bush. That's the bush there. Little bathroom. And then you got your floor plan. So it didn't have, which I always recommend. But look, guys, buying that for 640, that's going to double in 10 years if it does what the property market's done the last 70 years, the last lifetime, or two. So, yeah, I reckon that's a cracker.
I love that. And do you like buying property that you can do some work to, Mark?
I don't mind.
As an investor or a person to live in?
I think if you can switch a use, you're doing really, really well. By switching a use, what I mean by that is if it's being used as a one-bedder and you can get it to be a two-bedder by enclosing a dining room, or by putting in a study, getting it to a one-bedder plus a study. If you can up-spec the use, then there's a bit of money to be made by doing that.
Yep. Okay.
Give us another one, Billy Boy.
Now, this one is another one that we sold recently. I absolutely love this house.
Do you know RP Data that as well?
These photos are good.
Okay.
The thing about this house is, and the story behind it is the purchaser for this one really at the start said they couldn't afford it, but they pushed themselves moving into state. And then they finally got their offer accepted, moved really quickly on it. And before you knew it, they were in the house living there. And I think they absolutely love it. They said it's their family dream home. But pushing themselves to get into it, they were obviously extremely stressed at the time. But I think this is some of the opportunity that's available right now in the market with what's happened recently, prices coming off a little bit. Great time to be buying stock like this because values, were, perceived in sort of mid to high twos for this property and ended up exchanging sort of around the lower to mid twos.
Now, I find this embarrassing to admit that 6 months ago, how much were you paying for this puppy? 500,000 more?
Yeah, you were paying half of it. Yeah.
500 grand more.
And that's where value, it'll get back to incredible. That. Yeah.
And this is the biggest conversation we're having in the office at the moment with every single buyer. Where there's a union called the Will Wait Union, and the Will Wait Union we talk to all the time. They're active buyers out there, and you go, hey, how are you going with your property purchasing? And they say, we're not going to buy now, we'll wait. And then we'll say, you'll wait for what? And they'll go, we'll wait to see what happens. You go, and then we'll go, Wait to see what happens with what? We'll wait to see what happens with interest rates. Oh, okay. And then we'll have interest rate talk and they go, oh, and we'll wait. What else are we wait for? Oh, we're going to wait to see what happens with prices. Oh, and then we're going to see what happens with the government change. Oh, and then we're going to see what happens with lending and banks and stuff. It's like there's this big will wait movement. Now, while that's happening, the clever guys out there at the moment are buying stuff like this, because if you bought when every other human was buying 6 months ago, 9 months ago, you would have sold your, for example, unit for $1 million, and you would have paid 2.7, 2.8 for this property. So that means your upgrade would have been $1.8 million. Now you may be selling your unit for 900, but you're buying this for 500,000 less. So the mortgage you're taking on is going to be for 30 years is going to be 400 grand less than if you did the same move 6 months ago. So while everyone's waiting, there's people out there taking opportunities to upgrade and making a lot of money.
Would you say this is the best market you've seen to actually upsize in 10 years?
Absolutely. This is in 30 years, this is the best property market I've seen to buy, because it's basically a finance question. It's like I've never seen interest rates at this low with prices this low relative to where I know they've come off a bit of a bump, but when you look at what your repayments are, even as an investor, you can still tuck into a property, and your rent is paying off your property. That is fantastic.
There you go. Seize the opportunity. This is one that was back in 2018, but you were like, wow, we've got to mention this morning. So this is literally on DY Beach, the Strand, hot blue chip address.
Oh, this is one that Lisa was spewing about not buying. Spewing.
So I never got the chance to go through it, but from what I can see, it was similar to the other one you liked, partly original.
Show us that floor plan.
We'll get to the floor plan. Here it is. Look at the size of the locker.
Yeah. So see that dining room, a lot of people that I've seen in properties they sell, they almost dig out that dining room and make another room out of it.
Yep.
And then they end up twisting the kitchen around to have another doorway so you don't access through the dining. Massive garage.
Yeah,
you know, that's probably a $900,000 property now. It just shifted so quickly in price. That is a corker.
I love it.
Nice views.
And, great view.
That'd be good for you, Billy.
Would be. Look at that. Right on the beach. Right on the beach.
And guys and girls, one of the things I haven't mentioned in a while is if you do want to track property prices and work out what the market's doing, the market loves proximity to the water, and believe it or not, they still love proximity to the city, believe it or not. So proximity to the water can be a harbour, can be a beach, the Pittwater. If you look at stuff worldwide, it all follows that same ethos: proximity to the water, proximity to a city. They're areas that do really, really well around the world. So let's look at it domestically. Manly, on the water, close to the city. Double Bay, on the water, close to the city. If you lose one of those, like say Marrickville or Haberfield or whatever, still close to the city, not as much, not as further from the water. So, you can see how prices are indexed that way. So if you're sort of wondering why some areas do well and don't do well, always tie it back to proximity to the city and proximity to water.
Love that. Love that.
Love you, man.
But that's how foremost missed out properties.
Yeah, it's a bit sad you can't buy them all, but I think everyone's got that property that they wish they bought that they missed out on. So yeah, there's a couple of cool happens to us as well.
Absolutely. All right. I think that's a
Thanks,
wrap on the
Billy Bob.
episode. Thanks, Mr. Nova. I'm going to go and watch some Sting now.
Yeah, have a listen. I think you're going to really like him. And I just want to say, Bucketies. So my cat.
Yeah.
Brook,
What a night we
Brookvale.
had there the other day.
If you want to go to a good place, go to Brookvale, go to Bucketies.
And get the donut fries. They'll change your life.
The donut shoestring fries. Unbelievable.
That's it.
See you, Billy Bob. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Hopefully that's the worst of the weather now. It'll get better from tomorrow onwards.
I do hope so.
Oh, it's awful.
Just in
See
time
you,
for
everyone.
Oakland. Bye.
Yeah. See you, bye.